That is crazy. Got almost 2 full sets of nades.
All the junk. They will start very quick indeed. But the flash... Oh, how did they not get a kill from that Imperial? So much opportunity that has come and gone. But maybe they can follow up on the damage. The bomb is being planted reasonably fast. Retake territory now for the remainder of Imperial. 2 of the 3 players are with Kevlar, but I'm sure it goes down to the headshots as per usual. Just waiting for these smokes to go. This feels like forever. Even with a kit, it's so annoying. Fallen's only got 16 bullets left. Here comes the burst of CTs now. These Ts are in the red, and Bolts will deliver 3 very quickly indeed. But they have to go even faster for the rest of them. That's his 4th of the round. Bolts looking for the ace now with Story behind the sandbags. Unable to stop. Just takes one in the face immediately. And with that headshot, Fallen must come off the bomb. Which means despite Bolts' best efforts, sAw will take the pistol.
Yeah, that got close there, but a really cool pistol from sAw. They go fully up that short/scaffolding side. They put the 1 smoke to the site initially after this madness at the start of the round. And then they kept their 2 smokes to be deployed just as the bomb was being planted. So that's why those smokes lasted for so long. Still, Imperial make it close on the retake, but you saw it was that time bought by the smokes that made the difference at the end there. Imperial know how close that initial round was. They want to keep on fighting here with the force buy. Oh, that's a nice nade. And a molly onto Vinny, but Chelo's here to help. 1-for-1 trade early.
What a bad way to start for Imperial. Look at the urgency from sAw. They don't want this to become more awkward. They'll continue around the smokes at least and put some deeper ones in. Just being left as the last one to fall back with the bomb, so looking to disengage after all, at least for now. And why not? They have the time. Playing anti-force buy around smokes is not the most ideal situation. Just starts to head back though. I like this, disengaging, waiting for those smokes to fall away, not wanting to end up fighting a bunch of CT sitting in those smokes. They're looking to re-aggress towards the site, as we can see, just has been popped. And this is still a dangerous round. 3-on-3 with 45 seconds to go.
Yeah, you don't have to worry as much about the lack of utility here on the sAw side because you've got some early trades. So that means there are open areas on the map. Story has taken advantage of that with all the commotion on the opposite bomb site. They will waltz their way onto A. This time no kit for the retake, but the shot from Fallen makes this much more doable.
Roman has a very good angle. You can see chelo is trying to deal with it if he can, but they don't have a kit, these 3 players. And this is wasting some time. Multiple digs through the wall, but they're lining up nicely for Story. They can play for the beeps now. Deals with the last one as well. Not the easiest round to win, but they keep the clean sheet here, sAw. And we're seeing much more life than we saw from them yesterday, which is great to see. This is their pick of Vertigo. We want to see what they can do with it. That'll really set the CTs back now.
That was a lovely lineup from Story there, especially considering he's the AWPer of the team. Great to see the spray transfer with the Galil, and then that final headshot delivered. It's often where the AWPers can excel, when it's just the point-and-click aim, hitting that final headshot. Looks like there was an issue for Bolts, which we are just getting sorted. I think he may have given the thumbs up, so hopefully shouldn't be too long on this one. It has been a fairly competitive start here. I think sAw are showing us that they can do well in the mid-round, though, and that was important. I think they needed to show us that in a round like that, in a 3v3, they were able to make the right decision. That's where sometimes they were getting lost yesterday. So really nice to see that success for sAw. And there's not much to work with for Imperial in this round. So this should be as free as they come.
See if chelo can emulate Dexter's success with Desert Eagle from yesterday. Ooh. Beautiful head of hair on Bolts. Sees a few players moving around. They've lost some angles though. Lost even more with that. Oh, Fallen trying to get that bonus money. Respect the attempt. Man after my own heart. But nothing doing just yet for Imperial. So, only 3 of their players have got kills so far. Not really a big deal. It's always nice to keep an eye on when people make it to the scoreboard.
Yeah, we had that map yesterday where Roman took a long time to get on the board. He recovered pretty well. Did alright in that series. Pretty nice for sAw that they save on everyone. That gives them a bit of a buffer. Makes them a little more comfortable. You can see they've got some money in the bank now, which is always a really nice start on your map pick. But now we've got to see if they can do it against the big guns out in play for Imperial. No orbs, though.
Yeah, and I think we're all waiting to see that AWP on Fallen. A signature rifle on a signature sniper on a signature player. Sniper rifles are rifles as well, but...
Yeah, it's a rifle. Yeah.
Most people talk about the rifles and the snipers separately.
See that smoke on the sandbags? Makes it a little difficult for the Ts to move up. There's a one-way smoke underneath it that the CTs can see your feet on if you're not careful. Looks like chelo's going to redeploy that exact same smoke. So it just makes it a little awkward for sAw to fully get that ramp control they were looking for.
A nuisance smoke.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. And sAw don't want anything to do with it. They're coming back to the B side of the map. They ran a fair few B plays against Mouse yesterday, so hopefully Imperial are ready for this.
That's a lot of information for Bolts immediately. Puts down the molly to the side. That's given Vinny some space with the smoke, actually. Trying to... Oh, he's distracted by the spray. Awkward timing for him. And it's Imperial are being dismantled now. Only 2 remaining. Ujokes has got 1 HP. Part of me hopes he gets killed by a flashbang just for the memes, but apart from that, this one looks good for sAw. Clean sheet absolutely remaining, but we know that the AWP is soon around the corner. Next round won't be ideal for Imperial. Still looking to find their feet here on Overpass. Overpass, Vertigo. Overpass is the next map.
That's wishful thinking from you, James, isn't it?
I
You
just
wish
love
it was
Overpass.
Overpass.
Yeah.
You just love it. Getting ahead of yourself. Oh man, chelo even gets caught in the back. Look at sAw hunting aggressively. Showing us some confidence here. They're not scared of Fallen. Maybe they should be though, because he's getting a couple of exit kills. Ooh, lovely turnaround. Fallen showing off some spray on the rifle. He'll get to save the 1 gun. But sAw have got a pretty good bank balance, so they were comfortable going for that hunt. It looked pretty decent for Imperial initially. Bolts did a solid job at getting that first kill, but after he went down, the rest of the site just fell so quickly, and I think you can see Fallen very vocal there as they take this tactical timeout.
Yeah, not too much money you can expect to be spent here. Pistols, maybe some Kevlar, odd smoke or something like that, but it's mainly about the next round for them and getting that AWP to work. Can always be a difference maker. Story will have an AWP of his own though. Imperial with it all to do. Well, they'll pull out a second M4 and some SMGs, so going further than I would have expected, but I'm sure they've calculated their money correctly. So they're not lacking in their full buy rounds. Quite some action saving that rifle, and maybe it'll pay off for them. As you can see, they've, for the most part, got about 1,500. chelo has a bit more, Fallen has a fair amount less, as they have taken a calculated risk into this round. Now let's see if it'll pay off for them, because sAw might be expecting an eco, and of course there's utility here, but do they expect all these weapons behind it?
You don't call this a gamble, you call it a calculated risk. I like that way of putting it. Unfortunately for Bolts, that is not the angle he needed with the MP9. Now Vinny's in this committed position, just ducks away from the molly in time. Flashed in, looking for players, but they haven't been slowed enough here. sAw already moving up into the site itself. Vinny finds one, almost turns around for another. These smokes are making life awkward for the CTs now. They're still doing damage, but the bomb has been planted, and it's not an easy retake.
4 players alive. Those numbers are just too great. They, of course, won't know just how much damage is done. But even so, still a very tall order to sort out this B bomb site, which keeps being lost at the moment. Of course, we're still in the early round, but I do wonder, once their full buy comes in, if they send an extra man over towards that B bomb site, if this is to continue. Do sAw make a read into something like that, make a play elsewhere? Many questions to be answered in the next round. We'll see how much money chelo has. He should be able to drop an AWP, I think. Indeed, he will be, especially with that rifle being collected. That is going to be very handy indeed for Imperial. So, will we be deploying an AWP for Fallen, or will they continue with the M4A4s and M4A1s?
Wow, I was really expecting the AWP to come out, but apparently not for Imperial. Happy to stick with the rifles for now. Fallen showed us some solid spray control earlier. I'd have thought, you know, the chance to get the opening pick could be pretty valuable. There is a flash into ramp. So looking to see what he could find. As you were saying, this B site has been the issue, which isn't often the case on Vertigo. Damn, and Vinny taking more nade damage. I think it might have been 2 nades onto his position, chunking him down to 40 health. Now, chelo stayed committed to this ramp angle. Doesn't have much assistance here. They have rotated more away from A, but this time chelo caught out, and no one here to help him.
They need an AWP, I reckon.
I'd say so. Even that position from JOTA is so scary. It's so committed.
Yeah, like how do you fight back with that AWP? It's so awkward. Like, you need 2 kills there. You've got to find a way to get 2 kills, but sans AWP, that is made all the more harder, although the angles to peek down that ramp are not easy either. They're still not concentrated together. Then he's still alone on that B bomb site, so it's a 5 versus 2 on the A bomb site at present. So pokey proddy though from sAw, waiting for these smokes to go up. But they've got the numbers to deal with it. Where does Mutyrus looks to plant the bomb? Doesn't really have proper cover. Yes, he does actually. Just pushing short at the perfect time. Was vulnerable for a moment, but it is a 4 versus 1 after all. Imperial still looking for their first round, and this is getting pretty urgent now, I would say, on Vertigo.
Yeah, I'm surprised how uncomfortable they look, in all honesty. It isn't a map they play too often, but they've won it the last 2 times they played it. It was against Brazilian teams, but a win against Fluxo, it's not bad. Fluxo are a pretty solid squad on this map over in Brazil. But here in this one, it just feels like after the initial B site was being lost, they tried to switch it up in this round. They left chelo so isolated. They asked so much from him in that round. Might need another timeout here because this has been pretty flat on the Imperial side. I think the scary thing is the rounds haven't really felt close, in all honesty.
Yeah, I don't know that they've felt like they've been fighting for a round and just been fighting to stay alive. Really.
Finally got that AWP out. Both sides.
So where has Fallen started with this AWP then? Looks like he might be in the mid position with it. See Vinny changing up his angle, of course. Fallen be creeping.
No one there for sAw right now, though. Ramp. Oh, man. JOTA lines up that spray through the smoke. And now this fight is looking better for Imperial. I didn't expect chelo to be so close by with the MP9. So 2 early frags. This is the first round where sAw have to try and recover from a deficit.
Yeah, Imperial needs to control the narrative on that ramp. They need to be in charge there. Oh, chelo has his gun out as Fallen deploys the support grenade. Imperial need to survive this round with the numbers up as well. They'll lose their first play. That HE will force chelo to swing. Big headshot from him. Story will concede his position with sound cues. You know exactly where he is. Vinny's here as well. 4 players surviving, 8K to be collected. And surely this is the turning point then for Imperial. They're on the board now. They've got the AWP out and things are instantly different, even without Fallen doing much in that round.
I think you see the value of that little sandbag smoke. Able to tap on through. Had a nice angle lined up, which means if someone jumps up on the sandbags, they're going to take damage. Or if there were players further back on ramp, they would also have probably taken some damage as well. So that was nice. Just getting that first kill helps a lot because then the eyes are kind of taken off chelo. See, Roman was hoping he could trade, but the MP9 shifted out to the AK, did a lot of work in that round. chelo definitely a pretty talented player. And also a player who really likes to play aggressive. So I'd say he's one of the rising stars on this Imperial team to watch out for. sAw, they were not happy with losing 1 round. They took a timeout straight away.
Yeah, just ruin that momentum at a minimum, even if there isn't so much to say. Try and get them back out of the zone. Fallen again favouring mid with the AWP. Battle sniper mode. His rifle support taken away. They'll land the first one though. Bolts is straight back to drop Ujax. Things are looking good again. Now the question is, how do you deal with adversity, sAw? He found an entry elsewhere. JOTA avoiding the flashes, making things even worse. But Vinny has been dropped towards B and just has found some opportunity. He is not carrying the bomb, so they don't know where that might be going. And there's time for sAw to play with, so Imperial may be playing for a retake at this point.
Yeah, just that 1 kill opens up the map. Bolts decides to make the information play. The bomb is so scared of making the move, though, because Story has that AWP and he's alone in mid. He's terrified right now, so that's costing a fair bit of time. Maybe Just will have to make a move through the B side to help him, or maybe not, because Story lands the shot. It's Glock out and the opener he needed. Still got to be aware of Fallen in towards CT and a flank from Bolts. These are pretty good positions from Imperial.
That HE was the perfect distraction. He sees half the info. Fallen, there's the rest of it. This is the jump Bolt, but he is position unknown, waiting for Story to reposition, and he is indeed on the way. Oh, he hasn't seen his head, though. But the timing will work out for Bolts. The patience pays off. Well, it was a good effort from sAw again. That HE grenade just sending the crosshairs in the wrong direction, creating an opportunity. There will be a second round then for the CET side. An expensive one, but they've got the AKD AWP to continue with. I have little issue buying around it. The bomb plant will help sAw, who is starting to run low on money themselves now. So this is going to be a big round, especially if sAw force into it. Indeed, they will. If Imperial can be successful here, they could be targeting 5 rounds.
I enjoyed seeing Bolts try and shoot the kit over to Fallen. Didn't quite make it, but Fallen picked it up. This is looking much improved for Imperial, though. Just winning a lot of the earlier fights now. See the ramp control again being contested for chelo. Happy to swing behind that smoke and put some bullets in behind it. This time, this is quite a committed position from Vinny over towards B. Doesn't have any assistance here, so he can't lose this fight right now. Thought for a second he thought he cleared the corner fully. He's still just sitting back. Meanwhile, sAw focused on mid control themselves. Bolts is playing pretty far back on the CT side. This is dicey here right now for Imperial. B site is vulnerable, and Vinny's gone down.
Indeed, he has. That was almost inevitable with the angles that both were holding. That is quite a significant issue for Imperial now. But even with that entry, what about the rest of sAw? Unlikely to be in a position to capitalize on that. We can see them quietly making their way over towards B. And now the numbers game will well and truly be abused. There's no one on the B bomb site for Imperial. Because again, how can they tell where they might be going? But as time continues to tick, surely they start to wonder more and more about B, which they are going into dry. Is there a world where they save here? They surely peek from mid at the very least. JOTA's got a very passive angle. I'm not sure they commit to this if they're not given something for free in this 4 versus 5. I think they're conceding.
Yeah, that's tough. I think they took such a big gamble over towards A ramp, having lost that a few times. And unfortunately, this time didn't pay off for them. And that's the risk that you take if you fall over towards B so soon. The utility was cutting off the rotations. They realize it is better to take the more conservative approach. And it's also just so nice for sAw to save with 5 players on their side. As we were saying, their money was just starting to run short. And now that's no longer an issue.
sAw back to winning ways then. But Imperial cut the losses quite fast there. Let's not forget, yesterday, JOTA was pretty important for the squad. He hasn't come to life just yet, just 1 for 7 at the moment, but overall the team are doing the job. But he might be an extra gear that comes into play if Imperial start to win some more rounds here. Still an AK in the hands of Bolts as we see the harassment towards the ramp from sAw.
It's the Nafany smoke thrown there, which was popularized when Vertigo first came out. Allows you to contest around ramp a little easier. But the CT smoke up, it's not so easy to fully commit to that ramp position. You're always going to be a little scared. sAw again though, pretty happy going back to B. The run boost across will start to get B stairs control. This time there are 2 players pretty close to the B site for Imperial. But Vinny's had a rough go at it so far. Really got to see an answer on this B bomb site from Imperial. It's actually coming back to A from sAw now though, so they're just trying to play across the map. Similar position from chelo. He's going to get first contact, but Story swings onto him. JOTA's in behind, though. Oh, did he make noise? I don't know. They haven't heard him, but they've got so much control to the site. Only 1 kill for JOTA. It might not be enough.
He's got to find a second, otherwise this one's not doable. Peaks 2 at the same time, and that should be the round over. 2 versus 4. The numbers are not there for Imperial. Again, this was such an important round for them. Fallen still got 6k in the bank. If they can hold on to these rifles, then maybe there's something to be done in the next one. But this one would have been key. sAw forcing their way in, showing us why they like that Vertigo pick now. Heading towards an 8th round. Really stonking scoreline so far for them. They could take some weapons away here. Indeed, they will. Vinny will be dropped. He's having a horrible time on the B bomb site. 3 for 8 at the moment. Very hard task for him. Rather you than me, sir.
Yeah, tough right now. Tough right now for Imperial. And it's maybe a little surprising because you've got to be ready for this map pick. They've had a bit of time to prepare for it. They've had a day to go over things. So hopefully they've got another gear they can go to, the Imperial side. Here is chelo again towards ramp. They swing before the smoke, but Roman puts a smoke of his own down and again just wins that first fight.
Very awkward for Fallen. He has some support here though, but for how long? JOTA goes down. 3 on 4. Really going battle sniper mode as Fallen often does. Needs some individual creativity to turn this one around. The sound cues will tell him at least one of these final players is still here. Story trying to go lightning fast now, but Fallen's ready for it. Bolts on the other side, they'll stick together. Just in the clutch now. Damage is a plus as well. So much time on the clock as well. But he's trying to avoid fall, and that's one way to do it. Dropping off the ramp to try and reset the situation. He's got 2 more to go. Needs to avoid the trade fragger if he can. Spots Vinny, but gets swatted by him for a 3rd round for Imperial.
And it still looked good initially for sAw. They won those early fights. chelo just going down early towards ramp, as has been the case a couple of times. This time the rotate was solid. It was Fallen and Bolts reacting. As you said, Fallen, not easy to land some of those close-range shots on ramp like that, on that A bomb site. A lot of AWPers don't really like to play back towards the site because it can be so awkward. There's some headshot angles you can get peeked from on the ramp. Fallen happy to do so. Definitely deserves credit for that round win. And a 2nd timeout taken by sAw. They really want to make sure they punish fully and get a great T side here.
Yeah, I think they'll want to after yesterday as well. Be as focused and as efficient as possible. Ooh. Bolts gets his bell rung. And chelo's been lost elsewhere. Fallen trying to bring things back now. That's one way to do it. The grenade, so 1 HP, dodging the bullets and still moving forward. Dicey situation again, but with just being barbecued, they have an opportunity. 4 on 3, very nervous territory though. That reload will be heard, and surely, okay, Fallen starting to move away before the smoke dissipates. Otherwise, I think he's only good for 1 there. Re-smoking, but Ujux has the peak at the right time. 4 kills now for Ujux in this half so far. He had 1 last time we mentioned him. It's JOTA trying to do what he can. Molly's towards the ramp. This could buy some time at the very least. He may have seen the bomb on that swing, I'm not entirely sure. 1 minute on the clock, Ujux and Roman remain. He had a rough day yesterday as well, but he's almost leading in the frags today, Roman. Story those up there with 14 HP, but Roman has a chance to catch up now as he moves towards the site. Ujux here as well. Dropping the bomb though, Roman can't trade. And they continue to build then, Imperial. Their 4th round is here.
Yeah, looking better for them. JOTA that time able to clean up the final couple of kills. Yeah, like you were saying yesterday, Ujux was winning a lot of fights that I thought were unfavorable for him. But here today, hasn't had that same ability yet. So I think there is a different gear that sAw could reach. Finally, Imperial have done enough to force sAw down to a low buy. That should allow them to get a reasonable amount of CT rounds together here. See Vinny actually taking some early damage, down to about half health. Gotta be a little careful when you take that early damage. Now the Glocks are maybe slightly more dangerous on towards you. Got this double stack though. It's gonna be hard to overcome here. 2 rifles on this angle. The run boost is a nice attempt to throw the aim off. It might work okay here. Roman able to find 2 kills. And a couple of rifles recovered. That's not too bad.
Not too bad at all if they can capitalize on this opportunity. That HG is not going to help. What a horrible situation to have to deal with. sAw really making it hard for those Imperial players to survive. Now, oh dear. So with a minute on the clock, and without that sound cue, again, the longer they are not visible, the more Imperial have to spread out across both bomb sites. That sound cue resets things somewhat, but they still have a lot of time. If that was heard, though, if Imperial have an idea of what that sound cue meant, then they could take very aggressive angles elsewhere. So this can raise the paranoia level for sAw. 29 seconds remain. This is a winnable round. They need an entry and then trade fragging. But Bolt is ready. It makes things really hard indeed. Down goes Roman as well. And Imperial make it to 5.
Yeah, they managed to make up for it. Again, sAw using that run boost effectively, because otherwise that would have been a mow down on that same angle. But as soon as you throw another angle into the mix, makes it more awkward for the CTs on the hold. See what sAw go back to, because they've lost a couple of recent rounds. Wonder if we see them go back towards that B-bomb site. Wow, Bolts! Not expecting them there so soon. Ujerks wins that opener. And Imperial just losing players everywhere. They're down 2 men so early in the round.
Story lucky to survive. Getting awkward now, chelo. Point of no return. Dancing with Roman, who's trying to dodge the USP with 40 HP. He somehow managed to escape. That should never be happening. And Roman's died instead. It's a USP versus an AK. You've got to make the confident play there, surely.
Oh, the nade. Oh, another one. And now it's actually back to a 3v3. What a wild round this is. And there's still a couple of low health players on the board. Smoke may allow this bomb to move up to the site. Uterus the man with that in hand, and at least he has good health. So bomb plant should be confirmed here.
Bomb has been planted.
Vinny might be the man on the flank to be the difference maker, but chelo's actually found one towards the site, and they're not ready for Vinny. This is free all day long. Easy spray in the back. Uterus has it all to do. The flash makes it awkward, but they don't know he's on the site. He's got the first. chelo now just hiding, waiting for his teammate to arrive, and Vinny will be the man to finish the job. Sealing the deal on a 6th round for Imperial. This has been a fantastic turnaround for them.
What wasn't fantastic was that ramp duel for sAw. chelo was down to the USP, ran out of rounds in the magazine for the M4, and was still able to escape and felt like he had the upper hand versus the AK playing whack-a-mole. Utterly bizarre beginning to the frags on the A-bomb site. They shouldn't have got away with that, but here we are. That's something, I mean, we're into the last round of the first half anyway, so they can just move on, sAw, as the sides will soon be changing, but can't have too many repeats of that in this series if they want to come out on top.
Yeah, definitely a strange round is the way I'll say it. But it is Imperial who continue a solid little streak for themselves. They were down 8-2 at one point. It's looking real bad for them. They've strung together 4 rounds in a row. Could well be on for a 7-round half here, which they would absolutely take, considering the start that they had. It's like another quick tech issue that hopefully can be sorted as soon as possible. And there we go, fist bumps out, so I think we will be getting back into the map shortly. It's also a chance for the players to just look at their knives, admire them. Now we will be back into the action. No AWPs here into the last round of this first half. All rifles out in play. sAw did find some success on the early ramp fights there, so see if they can do that again. Ooh, traffic cone into the face of Vinny.
He'll be relieved to see the end of this half, that's for sure. Very tough time of things on that bomb site. Thanks to sAw.
He's taken another nade to the face as well.
Ooh. Exchange continues. Maybe they've burned their utility relatively early. sAw making good inroads towards a ramp as well. Or are they? Fallen says hello. It's going to be hard to get him off this angle, and maybe very expensive as well. That's one way to do it though. Some pre-fire also, and he realizes that he needs to stay alive. Maybe press a different direction. They don't know where he is just yet, and now they do, and it's been very expensive anyway.
It's not an easy angle to AWP into, but Fallen makes it look easy with the patience on those jiggle peaks. Uterus has made it to sandbags, but how does sAw make their move onto the bomb site? They don't have the nades, they don't have the players anymore. Uterus, the last man left. They get the bomb down, but a 1v3 is so tricky, especially with players on all different angles. Fallen's wrapped all the way behind him. Looking for the initial duel, it won't go his way. Bolts secures 7 rounds at the half for Imperial. A solid comeback for them. This is anyone's map here on Vertigo. It's time for a short break, but we'll be back with the second half shortly.
the water, Mike Phelps, swimming lessons. I still got many unanswered questions. Sick of the anger, sick of depression. Wanna be great, count your blessings. Just give me my salad, you keep the dressing. Cause I'm cream of the crop. He paid the price, I'm worth a lot. He told me go, why would I stop? Rest on my thoughts, jump off the tire. D'Lo Brown with the frog splash. Leaps of faith, what I call that. If you hit my line for the old me, when I hang up on you, don't call back. I ain't gonna block my blessings, I'd rather block your number. Life taught me so many lessons, Been down bad, never under. That's breath in my lungs. Some people die young, where I come from. Woke up and gave thanks to Father and Son. Filled with the Spirit, I shine like the sun. Ghost in me, but I ain't haunted. Bad vibes, keep them, don't want it. Pride hard to swallow, doggone it. And you were really never my opponent. I'm fighting evil, man, they hearts black. They wanted my life, told them back. Got an itch for sin, can't scratch that. Keep the truth loaded in the black gap. Just know if I said it, I'm in it, and they gon' take it back. Learn the game brighter than my granddaddy's Cadillac. Young man, oh song, imagine that. Ain't in my control, gotta pray, let them handle that. God hit my line, gave me to play. Roger that, game time. I you hate like a running back. If you ain't catch everything I said, better run it back. Eating up this beat, break bread, where your sandwich at, y'all. Thought I was done? No, this beat ain't like Kobe, I'm too full. My God, sick old mode, he too cold. I'm skating on beats, froze on with the flow.
Look, tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah. No need for the snoozing. Big whip outside, I'm cruising. Big stick inside, no losing. Better watch out for the snake and Judas is. Don't ask them who this is. I bet they know what I'm moving in. My God, he's a viral! The best of the game!
The second half is here. I like the small detail we saw in that last round from Fallen, who was being naded away from that short position. It was like, oh, just rotate here. You're not going to be rushing me because you know I'm standing here with the AWP, even though I'm not. Pops on the other side. A comeback we saw from Imperial in that first half to score at half-time then, 7-8. Is that an opportunity missed for sAw? The second half will dictate that story to us. Imperial's turn to be on the T side then. sAw may have the slippers out on the CT side, but that will only come after the pistol has concluded. All down to the headshots, as we know so well. Julie's out once again for the CTs. In the hands of Just and Roman, with a crossfire in mid. 4 players coming their way. Tyrus is here as well.
This pistol yesterday.
This looks like a hard read from them maybe for this situation, and they've walked straight into a trap. A fly in the spider's web. Absolutely wrecked Imperial.
Well, that went about as well as it could have. Losing a single player. And he lands the dink. But they will be running him down eventually here. Just feeling it with those dualies. Secures a triple on the round. Yeah, Imperial just not getting anywhere on the initial play. The nice little jump up onto sandbags was lovely. Too many players for Imperial to deal with.
Too many man. We need some more girls in here.
Exactly. That'll be a nice confidence booster from sAw. I feel like if you lose the pistol, you start to feel real bad. Now they're chilling.
I love to see like a strong pistol set up like that just work perfectly. Just work exactly as it was intended. It's quite nice. But not for Imperial, who will be looking for the early rifles, as sAw are likely to head towards double figures very soon indeed. Oops.
It's such a loud noise as well.
Yeah, it really is. I'll never forget the old ladder sound, though. anyone who's new to Counter-Strike, if you saw how our ears were pierced for many, many years of our lives by the old ladder sound in CS and the AK, the sheer brutality of that was quite something.
I remember when that sound change happened, everyone hated it. But listening back, oh my god, it was a great, great change.
I'm amazed I have good hearing, listening to some of the sounds in some of the older sounds in the game. It was unbelievable. Well, sAw looking for some damage limitation now. That'll certainly help. The bomb dropped on the other side of a smoke, and Justice going nuclear with the Julies. Crisis averted. sAw make it to 10 after all. No bomb plant for Imperial. However, the AKs will be here regardless.
Gotta have a bit of fun every now and then. Not having fun, what are you doing it for? Bit of fun for Just there with the dualies, but you're right, it is now time to get serious. AK's out for Imperial. And we'll see if they are going to be as focused on this B bomb site. Not common that you see that B bomb site hit so much as it was by sAw in the first half. Ramp is also being contested early. See chelo, someone who plays so aggressive for this squad. He's in the molly right now, has to swing. This is so awkward for him. The utility doing a lot of the heavy lifting there in that fight for sAw. They pick up that free opener.
Promising start then. So close for Vinny, but he continues to have a rough time around that B bomb site on the T side as well as the CT side. Bolts will eventually get there, but at what cost? 8 HP for him. Got to be careful as he falls back, trying to avoid the grenades or mollies maybe. There are some mollies to come for this sAw side, certainly. 1 minute on the clock, a lot of time. Whose smoke is that up there?
Come on, own up. Oh, I assume it's gone from bad to worse. I assume it's an Imperial smoke. And it has not gone their way in this round. They have been annihilated there. Just those early fights, so good. Rotation arrives. I mean, whoever threw that smoke surely should have realized where it landed. So at least they figure that out.
Fingers crossed. Story might be laughing about it. No laughing matter for Imperial, though. Down to the pistols for this round. You can see Story just listening for the sound cues, and you'll alert there are many players coming towards that ramp, and grenades will be lined up by both squads. There's one towards the ramp. Not too much damage done, though. See Roman in 2 minds as to what grenades are thrown. Story's ready to control the side. Well, no harm done if they can avoid the Molotovs. All 5 players alive. sAw just 4 rounds away from victory on Vertigo. This one is moving pretty fast, but I would expect things to slow down now the AKs are here again.
Yeah, it should be the case, especially after losing those early fights in the previous round, and with the utility being such a big factor there on ramp in that opening fight. I would hope that Imperial would slow things down, realizing that sAw have got some solid fundamentals on their CT side of Vertigo. Utility down. Yeah, chelo just loves to pull, man. I'm wondering if he wants to go through this smoke. But now he is on a leash. Over at B, we've had this similar sort of duel before, but this time the sides have changed. Just is the man in the corner. And that spot's not been too effective so far today. Too isolated from his teammate. No one there to help him. But elsewhere, sAw have brought 1 kill back, so even trade early.
Heading towards that sub 1 minute mark. So much utility thrown across these sides, trying to ruin the timing of these Ts as they look to advance. They still have 2 mollies and 2 smokes though. So once those current ones go, it's going to be hard to hold certain positions here for sAw. But they've got 3 AKs on their CT side. And that could be a difference maker for them, especially as they pop out in response to Imperial. First smoke starts to sail in. There's a default Molotov as well. Guitar is still hiding. He can play for Story. There's the molly for him as well. He'll smoke himself off. 20 seconds now as he tries to hide in plain sight. They have to deal with him. But he is hiding. Trades will continue. 1v2 now with 10 seconds, trying to make some space for himself, not realizing he walks into 2 CTs and sAw make it to 13.
Imperial do try that B-sided play, a little slower on the approach this time, but still not successful. JOTA is surviving for a long, long time, and yeah, you saw Fallen at the end. Just had no clue how close they were. Really good map from Story, and I haven't really seen him on the AWP at all, in all honesty. It's normally the primary AWPer for the team. He's been getting it done with the rifle, which I think is a necessity in modern-day Counter-Strike. Can't be an AWP one trick. The economy game is so hotly contested. You never know when you're going to be able to get that AWP out. And now Imperial, maybe with a Hail Mary buy at this point. They've got 2 AKs, but they're pretty far down. And if they lose this, I think the map might just slip away from them at this point. What do Imperial go to when they really need a round the most?
Bolts has got a risky job with that Tech 9. But now he can show some presence. He's taking the correct angles. He goes beyond Mutiris, but Ujerks is ready. That's the bomb. A hard swing, but they keep the trades in their favor, Imperial, in this 3-on-3. Roman's in a good spot for now, but once that smoke goes, he's going to be in a very awkward situation. See T's creeping around as well. This is going to be a crucial moment now as he spots Vinny to the right-hand side, trying to back off. No one can respond to that. That changes things dramatically.
Really nice reaction there. So fast on the flick to remove Vinny from the round and to get away safely from that position. So impressive. 30 seconds now for Imperial. Single smoke, so they might just go contact here. And that could still work out for them. Roman's playing this very passively. He's the only man on this A site, so he's going to have to concede the site control. He might now look for info, but JOTA arrives from above. Bolts is planting on the other side of the site here. So that means they can't really play that bomb from back towards ramp. That could be awkward now in the post plant.
Yeah, it's going to be confusing for sAw, especially with the angles they're coming from. Like, why would they do that? They've got a smoke up as well. They can just go for it, surely. Oh, and they can get the frag as well. sAw continue their winning ways on the CT side. Make it to double the score of their opponent then with 2 players up. They just can't stop winning in this game of Vertigo.
Yeah, the second half has been flawless. They haven't lost a round. They've won every single CT round right here. It's despite JOTA getting that pick. It looked like a great opportunity for Imperial. A 2v2 post plant. I thought they'd just plant default, sit back towards ramp. Maybe they were concerned about some nades towards the site or something to make life awkward, but you'd have thought he was just so vulnerable there. Either way, sAw 14-7 up. That AWP finally out from Story. Maybe you should stick with a rifle. He's able to land the initial shot this time.
This presence is going to force the CTs to surely dump more util around the ramp. They're going to go for a retake, maybe? It looks like Roman threatening, but he's losing some crucial angles now. Ujerks is here as well, but they won't lose the jewels. Traded, but 4v3, they'll take that. Really makes things harder for Imperial. These AKs will rely on some individual brilliance to bring things back into their favor now. Vinny wonders what could be on the other side of this smoke, and that'll limit Fallen as well, as they want to work together. So indeed, we did see that utility dump from sAw. Improved very, very good indeed, but Story has been dropped at close range by Fallen then. 55 seconds on the clock. He's not carrying the bomb. That opens up the world of possibilities between A and B. And you can see sAw forced to spread out once again to see what the climate is around the map.
No molly for this position. So Roman can tuck in for a long, long time. Oh, there is a molly now. They found one, and Roman will go down because of it. Uterus is in position, but he couldn't help his teammate on the initial hold. He was too far back. He's hoping for a lineup through the smoke here, or maybe to peer above it. Bomb dropped. Someone's got to go get that here. And those smokes start to fade somewhat shortly. Still no bomb plant, and Muterus might go through. Oh, they go through together. Beautifully done by sAw. Even though they allow the bomb plant, the team play on that push through the smoke, perfectly timed for a 15th round, and this map is almost certainly going to go their way.
Fantastic retake, pushing through either side of the smoke. Can only hold one while the other guy's planting. The time was so low, they had to commit to that one. And sAw came in with the perfect response. Yet another round on their CT side, only one more to go. Imperial left shell-shocked round after round here on this second half of Vertigo. This one might be coming to an end very soon indeed. It was a pick of sAw, as you can see in the top right. Overpass to come. We'll see how short this half will be. This could be the last round. Up to Imperial to turn things around, but that's been a tall order so far in this half.
Bit of damage done early, both ways. Chelo and Roman, the players tagged. He's now hard clearing the corner, but Muterus much quicker on the trigger this time. sAw consistently getting off to these good starts on their CT side. Molotov will make sure that Just isn't on the close angle. And JOTA was boosted up there. Imperial are still spread across the map, though. They're scouting everywhere, looking for an opening kill.
Then there were three.
Ouch.
Look at that peak. That's a horrible sandwich for Fallen. JOTA leaving Vinny then in the 1 versus 5 with no bomb. I think the end of Vertigo will be a relief for Imperial. This was not their map to win, it seems. They'll have to do it in 3. Vinny has 30 seconds to find a bomb plant. Story will surely put him out of his misery soon. 16-7 then. sAw with a giant bag of rounds in the second half. Competitive affair in the first half, but the second was night and day as far as Imperial are concerned.
Yeah, I am a little surprised that it was so one-sided, but I'm glad that we got to see the level of play we wanted from sAw on Vertigo. They did not show up on this map yesterday against Mouse. They lost it 16-3 yesterday. Clearly, they went back to making...